A good day to you all. My name is Joy Etukudo from Compassionate Outreach Ministries, a teaching, preaching, praying, and a caring church. Today we want to look at love and marriage. Many people try to define love, but love is so difficult to define because it comes across as many things to different people. Some say that love is a passionate commitment that we work upon to consistently develop, and others say that love is being at your best when the other party is at their worst. But I just know that love is more of a decision than of a feeling or emotion. The Bible says love is patient and love is kind. Love is not jealous. It is not arrogant. It is not rude. Does not rejoice in the wrong, but rejoices at right. But if you don't love yourself enough, you will not be able to survive in the marriage, because every day you will come and say, my husband doesn't love me, my wife doesn't love me enough. There is a place where only you can love yourself. There is a place where your partner can love you, and there is a place where God can love you. That's why I love a book by Bishop T.D. Jakes, The Lady, a Lover, and Her Lord. Do you know there are things that only you can do for yourself to make you happy? Many people want to cast that responsibility on their partner. They claim every day shouting, he doesn't love me. He doesn't treat me right. I am not happy in this marriage. I feel so left out in the marriage. He's treating me like a nobody. The truth of the matter is that it's because you already see yourself as a nobody. That is why you feel someone else is treating you as a nobody. Listen to me. Nobody can reduce you to a second-class citizen without your consent. If you have consented with yourself and in yourself that I am not good enough, you begin to blame it on the other person. So I want to start by saying, love yourself enough before you get into marriage. Because when you get into marriage, your husband will love you, your wife will love you, but that love that you have for yourself will keep you going when you feel down or when you feel like things are not moving the way they are to move. In other words, when we talk about love, everybody have different ways they want to be loved. So as we are looking at love and marriage today, do you know that your partner in that marriage have his own love language, or your partner has our own love language? There are 5 love languages that everybody in marriage needs to understand. And when you understand these 5 love languages, you will be able to know how your partner wants to be loved. 1, it is the aspect of communication. Some people want to be communicated to in the tune that is soft and sweet. So for that kind of person, when you use the wrong tone, you don't love him. When you use the wrong tone, you don't love her. They want you to use a tone that depicts love. Another language is the language of time, quality time. Do you know that even as somebody is your friend, you visit that friend, if that person's love language is quality time, if you stay for 1 hour after the visit and you say, oh, I'm about to take my leave, he says, so soon? Or she says, you just came in and you are leaving? There is no amount of time you spend with such a person that will be enough, because their language is quality time. Now, take for example that you now get married to someone whose love language is quality time, and you are a traveler. Today, you are in America. Tomorrow, you are in Canada. Next tomorrow, you are in Benin Republic. The 4th time, you went to Port Harcourt. You must understand the love language of the person you are getting married to. Otherwise, there will be problem. If you know that you have a career that will make you to travel all about, and then you end up getting married to somebody whose love language is quality time, there must be a compromise. You need to sit down and break it down and find a way whereby both of you will cope, because that person's love language is his or a language. And if I am a Yoruba speaking woman and my husband is an Igbo speaking man, do you think that if I continuously speak Yoruba to him, Will he understand? No, he will not get what I'm trying to say. So also, if he continuously speak Igbo to me and I don't understand Igbo, I will not get what he's trying to say. For instance, he's shouting, saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. But because he's not saying it in a language that I understand, it will look as if he's not doing anything. It will look as if he's not saying anything. So also is the importance of these love languages. You can be acting in a way that depicts love to your partner, but if you are not loving that person in the person's love language, it brings problem. Another love language is the language of gift. To some men, you need to buy them something. And this is where I want to speak to our women. Many women believe that it's only women that should receive gifts. Every day, honey, what did you buy for me? What did you get for me? You traveled, you came home with nothing for your wife. But what have you gotten for that man in the past 6 months? What have you gotten for that man in the last 1 year? Some men, their love language is also that of gift. And I want to tell you that gift doesn't need to be expensive before it is presented as a gift. If your spouse's love language is gift, please try to get something for him regularly, maybe monthly, weekly, as your strength, can carry. Get something just for him. It could be a nice pen. It could even, for some ladies, it could be biscuits. For some, it could just be chocolate. For that man, it could just be a book. Just buy him a book on leadership, or buy him a book on prayer, buy him a book on the subject that you know he loves to read about. So if your partner's love language is gift, go ahead and understand that fact and begin to communicate love to him in that area. Another love language is the language of act of service. Act of service simply means when you help somebody to do something all of the time. Most women's love language is act of service. They want you to be with them in the kitchen when they are cooking. Even if you are not helping them to slice the vegetable or to do anything for them, they just feel that, oh, you are there for me. It means that you support the fact that I'm doing my best in this kitchen. Or maybe somebody is lifting up something that is heavy. It could also be the man that is trying to lift up the table and the table is heavy. If you go forward to say, can I help you on the other side, that man will feel so loved if his own love language is act of service. Anyone whose love language is an act of service consistently feels loved when you show a form of help or a form of support. The last one I want to talk about today is the language of touch. Some people, when you're talking to them, you need to touch them. I'm talking about those that are married now. If you're saying, I'm sorry, you need to touch to say, I'm sorry. If your partner's love language is, physical touch, you cannot just stand there and say, I'm sorry. If you don't touch that person, it feels that you are really not sorry. Or if you say, I love you, and there is no touch, that person feels he doesn't love me. He's just saying it is lip service. So when you know that your partner's love language is the physical touch, you go ahead and you touch when you are saying I'm sorry. You touch when you are saying thank you. You touch when you are saying I love you. It's a way of communicating love in marriage. I will not fail to address the aspect of the stages in marriage so that we understand that there are times whereby you feel down. It doesn't mean that it's a time for you to feel out of the marriage. We're talking about marriage and love, or love and marriage. If you truly love your partner, you will go every stage with your partner in that marriage. Every marriage goes through 7 stages. Every marriage goes through these stages. 1, the stage of honeymoon. When you first get married, it is honeymoon stage. You love me, I love you, you're loving yourselves all of the time. The next stage is the stage of realization. You begin to realize, oh, so this is whom she is, so this is whom he is, and then you begin to feel bad. Number 3 is the stage of nagging. After you've realized that he snores, she doesn't lay the bed when she wakes up in the morning, all of those things that you overlooked in the stage of honeymoon that you've come to realize, it brings some people to begin to nag. You complain of this, you complain of that, every little thing you're complaining. And when you complain too much and you nag and nag, it leads to the 4th stage, which is the stage of avoidance. When you nag somebody too much, he will begin to avoid you. Or when you nag a woman too much, she will begin to avoid you. When you are avoiding him and he's avoiding you, the marriage is going. And if you don't manage that stage of realization very well, you go to the stage of number 5, which is the stage of decision. That decision stage is very dicey in the sense that you can either decide to continue or you decide to walk out. But if you decide to walk out, the marriage ends. When you decide to continue, you now get into the 6th stage, which is the stage of communication. Communication is where you both sit down and you begin to talk to yourself. What actually is the problem in this marriage? Let us reason with one another. How can we move forward? If you can manage the 6th stage of communication very well, and both of you are able to communicate in a constructive manner to move the marriage forward, you get to the 7th stage, which is the stage of honeymoon again. Remember that we started the first stage as the stage of honeymoon. So if you manage the whole process, you get back to honeymoon stage again. That honeymoon stage this time is the stage where he snores and it doesn't matter. She snores and it doesn't matter. There are things that you see, you overlook, because you know that no adult is perfect. And really, do you want to change an adult? You were not there when his parents was training him. You were not there when her parents was putting her, to shape for you to get married to one day. Both of you didn't grow up under the same roof. You came from different homes, from different backgrounds, and you have now made up your mind to stick with each other and to go through the marriage and see the marriage through. That is the stage of honeymoon. Again, we said the first one is honeymoon. The second one is realization. The third one is nagging. The fourth one is avoidance. The fifth one is decision. The sixth one is communication, and the 7th one is back to the honeymoon stage. I trust God that you've been blessed today and that you've received some more word of encouragement to show more love in your marriage. Thank you for listening to us, and we want you to follow us on our social media channels at Compassionate TV, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.